What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Broad Street 4 for 4. We're back for another show. We're a little short this week, but I do got my man Hollywood James Woodruff sitting across from me. What's going on, Wood?
Yo, what up? It's the dynamic duos. It's Pippen and Jordan. It's Batman and Robin. It's we might have to fight over who's Batman if we look at that scenario.
Right.
No, but we just doing our thing. Unfortunately, Roman and Mike couldn't be with us tonight due to family obligations, but we're gonna hold it down. CeeLo and Woody Wood. Another episode of Broad Street 4 for 4.
Ain't no question. We just gonna do what we do, man. We want to thank everybody who's been listening all season, man. We appreciate that. We're gonna finish out this NFL season, and we're gonna do what we do this episode. We're gonna talk.
Can't think of any other duos. Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Right.
Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. I'll be Joe Montana. You definitely Jerry Rice.
There you go. I like that. I am YFL's all-time leading receiver in most statistical categories, but yeah. So we there we go. We're doing a duo thing tonight, man. We're gonna hold it down. Woody Wood and CeeLo, man.
We missed 2 episodes. Honestly, we missed because the last time we all got together, we were talking about the Eagles' chances of beating the Saints, and I remember how I was devastated that Rome picked the Saints, and he was right. I was like, you know what? If we do another episode, please, God, let the Eagles beat the Saints, so I can grind Rome up.
I would have grinded him up to sawdust, man.
Yeah, and I was feeling good too because at the end of the first quarter we were up 14-zip. I'm like, I can't wait to give Rome. I'm gonna give Rome hell when we do our next episode, but unfortunately, 20 unanswered points, man, and Alshon Jeffries let it slip. How did you feel when he dropped that pass, when it went right through his hands?
Well, I got to be honest with you, Wood. I don't know if you saw the thread, and for our listeners, we got a thread that all 4 of us stay on, and we text each other. Stay in tune. Throughout the week, show topics, whatever the case is, during games sometimes. But I was texting as they were driving. And I was so hyped. I said, St. Nick. I said, it's time. When the D stopped him, I turned into
when they missed the field goal, I was like, we're going to win.
I said, we're going to win. I said, here it go. Nick going to do it again. And but honestly, that one play, to me, they shouldn't have ran it, Wood. I feel so strongly about that. I feel like they rushed a play before the 2-minute warning.
I see what you're saying. Like they should have let it go down to the 2-minute warning. They should have let
it go down to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I agree. Because now that you say that, I remember when you texted it. I was so focused on the game, and I was looking at my phone and looking at you guys talking to each other, and I was like, I can't. I got to focus on my Eagles. I got the juju, and in my head, it's been like this since 1986. I feel like the Eagles need me to stay focused in on the game, or they'll lose.
Right.
So during that drive, I saw what you said, and I said, yeah, Chris is right. Actually, they should let it go down to the 2-minute warning. But you know what? Forget it. It's all right. Nick Foles knows what he's doing, and it was a perfect pass, nice slant, and I don't know what you call whatever the technical term for it is, but it looked like that Alshon Jeffries was slanting inwards, like he was the slot receiver, and he was going in. And boy, he had his hands. And it's ironic that it happened to Alshon Jeffries, considering how sure-handed he's been all season long. And then when he dropped that pass, when it went through his hands, I was like, what hurt the most was the interception. I was hoping that maybe it would be incomplete, and I wouldn't have been mad because Alshon has been so sure-handed. I was like, I can't get mad at that. But then he threw it in there. But then the defender caught the interception. I was like, oh gosh, that means we're done. Like our season is done, and it hurts me to see that it happened on Alshon's reception. Like if it was Nelson Aguilar or Jordan Matthews, I'd have just been mad and howling and screaming and cursing at them because they've always had history of dropping balls in the past. Even though Nelson's gotten better, but Jordan's gotten better to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But Alshon has always been that sure-handed receiver since he's been with us. So for that to happen to him, I just felt so bad. And I said, I can't get mad at you, man. Even though it turned out to be an interception and lost us the season, I can't get mad at him because he's been our number one receiver.
I agree, Wood. I wasn't mad at him at all. Because without Alshon last year and this year, he's made some big catches. I was so disgusted when they was running the play. This is my thing. Briefly, when you're at the end of the game. It's three things you gotta, depending on the score. In this case, we had to score a touchdown.
Had to.
That's number one. The other thing is yards. You gotta march down the field and put yourself in position to score that touchdown. And then number three is the clock. So those three things, we got our yards. We got to that end of the field. You know what I mean? They missed the field goal, so we didn't have a completely long field to drive, a full field to drive. But we got our yards where we were in striking distance. Number two, the clock, as far as that, was our friend. We had 2 minutes.
I was about to say, it wasn't against us.
It wasn't against us. And then, number one was the touchdown, obviously. We're in striking distance. So my thing is, why hurry to run that play prior to the 2-minute warning? For one, even if he catches it, how much do you gain? You gain 5 yards. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's going to be a closer field goal to anything. You still need a touchdown. And ultimately, the clock would have stopped, which would have ultimately helped the Saints at that point in the game. So my thing was, why hurry up and rush that play? And I feel like they shouldn't even have ran the play, and they should have just regrouped and got themselves together, and then came out and had their,
Maybe they were just trying to ride that wave because they were actually driving down the field and they had the momentum, and they just let's just continue this hurry up offense. And
I get that.
I don't know. I agree 100%. Though I really wish they would have let that too, because that would have gave them time to just kind of maybe not even. Maybe they still run that same play, but I feel like they would have been more collected.
Exactly. Everybody was more collected and right. I don't have Alshon dropping that coming out of a 2-minute timeout. And,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
I think bring everybody in, galvanize. Let's get everybody on the same page. Let everybody know what we're trying to do. You can almost call a few plays in that in that scenario. So. I just felt like they shouldn't have ran the play. I was more disappointed in that than the actual drop. And when they caught the ball in the interception, man, it was so. I was so hurt, man. It was heart wrenching, man. I can't even put it into words, man. And that's the NFL, the finality of that one game, man, and the season's over.
I was already thinking about how we were going to perform in LA.
Right.
Because I was already, we got this. We're doing so well. We're going to win. I mean, it's destiny. The Saints kicker missed his field goal, and he was sure-footed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was very consistent. Unlike Cody Parkey, you know what I mean? Like where you're like, oh man, he might miss it. It was almost certain that the Saints kicker was going to make that, and he missed it. Giving us a chance. I was like, we are going. And then we started driving down the field. Things were the Saints were kind of looking like they were on their heels a little bit, and I was like, man, we're going to win this game. And we're going to go to the NFC Championship and beat the Rams because we match up well against them. And no matter how good they have been these last 2 years, we have beaten them. I was like, we're about to go to the Super Bowl again.
Hey, Wood, let me ask you a question. What if you had to put that loss on anything? Let's say the offense, defense, the drop by Alshon, running the play before where would you put the blame at on that loss if you had to?
Well, I would be a hypocrite if I said it's Alshon because I just said I can't be mad at him, so I'm not putting it on him. So take that. I got to think about that because the game was a while ago now, so I'm trying to think about.
Remember the first play of the game, we got the interception on Drew Brees. We scored 7-0. We actually went up 14-0.
Okay. I know what to put it on. Put it on special teams for not anticipating the fake punt. I feel like once that fake punt got converted, it changed the momentum of the game.
Definitely.
So I wish they would have been a little bit more attentive, knowing how Sean Payton is and how he treats us with such disrespect. When he ran up the score on us last time, they should have known that he might have been up to something like that. I feel like the special teams coach would kind of, because that's the realm that they're in, and he'd be like, hey, you know what? Anticipate that, because wasn't there a certain player in on the Saints that kind of runs the Wildcat and stuff like that? Wasn't he in on that fake punt? So when he saw that player, I think he was like number 3 or something like that, like the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was in on that play.
I think he was. I think he's the one that caught it and then ran forward to get the first down. I could be wrong. Maybe if our listeners,
I'm pretty sure he wasn't the one.
They can correct me in the comments.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't the one that caught it because I thought it was a receiver kind of guy. But he still is a receiver and somebody they should have. You're exactly right.
But he was okay if it didn't go to him. But wasn't he in on that play though?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that question. But
okay, if he didn't get it, but I feel like he was on the field, and I know that he was on the field a few of those plays throughout the game where he was trying to throw the Eagles defense off. So I just wish that we would have snuffed out that fourth down conversion, the fake punt. That's just embarrassing. I mean, we had them. If you're looking at a boxing metaphor, man, we had those guys up against the ropes. We already knocked them down twice. We could get them down one more time. The ref was going to call a technical knockout. We would have won. Like I felt like this. We were about to shock the world. We were Buster Douglas and they were Mike Tyson, and it was about to go down. Unfortunately, after that fake punt conversion, I felt like we started. We played poorly, and then all of a sudden we got 20 unanswered points, and then the fourth quarter we didn't start putting it together until that missed field goal. I feel we were like 3 and outs.
We were non-existent in the second quarter.
Real quick, Chris, sorry to cut you off, but real quick. We didn't even we couldn't get them off the field. They kept converting like long third downs, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 19. I mean, they're still converting. Anyways, that's it.
I think our that was the turning point. That was the turning point. I agree with you 100%. I think they should have been more prepared for that. You know what I mean? Definitely more prepared for that. But I feel like how you think Nick played, man? I think Nick was off, man. I think Nick missed a lot of passes, man, and he was kind of off. I don't want to say Nick Foles is the reason we lost, because he at the end of the game we were in a position to win. So it's hard to say that, but I think he missed a lot of passes that our defense couldn't. I mean, our offense couldn't sustain drives, and it made our defense vulnerable. And they were on the field a long time.
Yeah, he didn't play great. He didn't play Super Bowl MVP great, but he didn't play terribly to the point where he was like, man, I wish he would have got benched. But he didn't. I don't think he had enough opportunity because I think the Saints chewed up a lot of the time. We couldn't get the Saints off the field.
That one drive, but he missed a lot of plays, particularly on third down. He was missing passes, like wide open passes, and we had to punt. You know what I mean?
20. They got 20. The Saints got 25 first downs. The Eagles got 15. Time of possession, Saints 37 minutes and 50 seconds. We had 22 minutes and 10 seconds. So I mean, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Eagles didn't have a lot of opportunity. I feel like in the third quarter, the Saints chewed up a lot of clock.
We got the ball first, remember, and we went 3 and out or 4 and out.
3 and out.
And they had the long drive after that, and I think that was important because they had so much momentum going into the halftime, but we got the ball first, and we didn't. That drive, we were supposed to sustain a drive, and even if we just put a long drive together and eventually had to settle for a field goal, or at least got the ball to the 50 or 45 and then punted, that was a big drive. But I feel like Nick missed a lot of passes, and I don't want to blame Nick. You know what I mean? But I felt like
we didn't have a running game.
We didn't have a running game.
Smallwood, he tried his best. He had 10 carries for 33 yards, 3.3 carry. His longest run was 8 yards. The longest runner we had was Nelson Aguilar, a 12-yard run.
Did they cut Adams and Clement the week before? I didn't see those guys on the field.
Yeah, they no carries for either one of them. Darren Sproles only had 3 carries for 4 yards.
I feel like, I just felt like we were in such a position. You know why the game was disappointing? We lost because we jumped out to the early lead, and we probably didn't play our best we didn't play our best football, but we still kind of could have got the upset. We should have kind of won. We put ourselves in a position and we just didn't do it with the bad play at the end. But I feel like where were our tight ends? Zach Ertz, Goddard. You know what I mean? They've been kind of holding us down all year. Particularly these last few weeks, they were kind of.
Ertz had 5 receptions for 50 yards.
It's not bad.
He was tied for the most catches with Alshon, but again, that's not a lot. It's just, I hear you, man. It was frustrating, and just Drew Brees he made the catches when he had to make them. Like those third down conversions were brutal. It's like, all right, here's an opportunity. Come on, guys, we got 3rd and long. We can get him. Oh, first down, Saints. Like, golly.
I think that's what separates a good quarterback from a great. When those great ones they have a not so great game, but they still can kind of make the passes when they need to.
I hear you, Chris. And they had success with the run. Kamara and Ingram, they were more successful running the ball than we were.
Definitely.
Ingram averaged close to 6 yards a carry. Kamara was averaging 4.5. When you got that going for you, at least they were showing more of a balance than we were. The guy that got the Foles through 31 passes, completed 18. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not good when you get to a point where you can become one dimensional. It's just. For like football 101, right?
Yeah. I just remember watching the game, not to keep harping, because I was saying, "Come on, Nick, you missed that one." Seemed like I said that a few times, and he didn't have his best game, but I don't want to blame Nick.
Do you think we could have took out the Saints? Do you think we could have took out the Rams if we got past the Saints?
Yeah, I think we got a shot. You know what I mean? We beat them earlier, and I think, like you said, we match up well with them. So yeah, I think we definitely have a shot. Plus, with those 2 games, we got momentum.
How crazy would that have been, a rematch of the Eagles Patriots again? How crazy would that have been?
Oh man, that'd have been something special, man. They would have been
looking for us, cause
they
would have a chip on their shoulder from last year, like because we couldn't stop them offensively, and we had that whole Jim Schwartz prevent defense where Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards. So I feel like that they would exploit that this time around. Like I hate to say it, like if we would have played the Eagles and Patriots again, I think the Patriots might have beaten us.
You know what though? I almost wouldn't be mad because we got them last year. Just getting back would have been so special. You know what I mean? It would have extended our season, and obviously I'd have been PO'd, but you know what I mean? It just
But they would have won the series. They beat us the first time, and we beat them the second time, and then they would be up. They would be if. They would be up 2-1 against us, but that's just all hypothetical. But now, I just remember we don't, and I think we talked about it last episode where we never gave Jim Schwartz any crap about it because we won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But if we lost that Super Bowl, we would have looked at how could we let the Patriots rack up that much offense, you know what I mean, and expect to win the game. Like we would have been grinding Jim Schwartz up.
Right.
And I think they might even touched on in the post-game press conference, but I think he dismissed it like we won. We won. And I don't know. I feel like this season, his prevent defense, no blitzing type philosophy didn't pay dividends like it did last year. Like the opposing teams were prepared for it. And they found ways to exploit us. And I'm hoping that maybe he learns, because I don't see them getting rid of him. He might be under contract. No, I don't know, all that type of stuff. Rome would be perfect with that. And if when we do come back next season, I would like to see him switch it up a little bit. I would like to see him change some of the approach to. I'd like to see more blitzing. I'd like to see less zone prevent style secondary defensive setups.
I agree too. Because when he did switch up and add some blitz, they did some good things. But this is the funny thing though. If you would have asked, let's go back to the Bears game. What was the score in that? We beat them 16
to 15.
Okay, 15 points. We gave up to the Bears. Then if you would have asked, could we hold the Saints to 20 points? Before we play the game, if you said we're going to hold the Saints to only 20 points, would you take that or not take it?
I would take it, yeah, especially considering how bad they beat us in the regular season.
Right, you would take that, and you would kind of bank or bet that our offense could score more than 20 points. So for all the criticism that we kind of give Schwartz, he held two teams, 1 to 15, 1 to 20. That's 35. Divide that by 2, which is 17.5 points a game. That's an excellent average. I think if you would have asked anybody, our defense average only giving up 17.5 points in the playoffs? Anybody would probably take that, and you would think our offense would do it. I really felt like
that's true. Good point. Yeah, that's true.
I really feel like our offense kind of let us down in that Saints game. I just think they couldn't. Whether it was play calling, not getting the tight ends involved, not getting the receivers involved, the lack of the run game wasn't there, and Nick Foles. Unfortunately, Nick Foles was off a little bit, but that's when your running game and other players, help your quarterback. But I think the offense came up a little short, and that's that's how I feel about it. But
looking at third down and fourth down efficiency, the Saints were 8 and 15. We were 2 for 7. And fourth down efficiency, they went 2 for 2. We didn't have any situations. So yeah. It is what it is. Let me look at it. Let me tell you, let's look at it from this perspective. Nobody gave us a shot to even get as far as we got.
Right.
Especially considering how we played in the regular season. There were people saying that we weren't even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of our accomplishments considering a lot of our shortcomings.
Yeah.
We were still able to advance. And we won, winning the game in the playoffs. And
we've had some time to kind of take it in, and kind of back to reality. Those guys, they don't have the same kind of problems we have. I still got to get up and go to work every day, and I got to, what I mean. So it's like, but I mean, if you would have asked me right after the game, man, I was heated. I don't know if you remember the thread. Me and Rome was kind of going back, and I was going at Rome a little bit, not going at him, but I was just, I thought we should have won a game, man. I was disappointed, man. But
like a true Eagles fan.
Yeah, definitely.
We were all disappointed.
Definitely.
But I was disappointed. I was upset. I went through all the different spectrums of emotion. But when it was all said and done, I was like, all right, we did all right. We did well considering the situation. I'm proud of how far we got considering how bad we were at certain points in the regular season.
Yeah.
We finally got it together at the end of staying hopeful. The Eagles finally, put it in gear, and we did have some help from the Bears getting us in there, and then we had to take the Bears out.
They would.
More like they took themselves out.
Right,
anyway.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how we did. I just look forward to seeing us improve and filling those vacancies. Going into the next season.
Let me ask you this, Wood, and they did give us a hell of a run at the end of the season. So yeah, I'm proud of them too. You know what I mean? But do you think any of that was, how they say that Super Bowl layover or anything like that? We kind of started the season slow.
Yeah,
do you think
in the beginning of the season it did.
You think that played a part?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was apparent in the beginning of the regular season. You saw how the Eagles were just couldn't find their zone. Like I felt like they didn't start playing until the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first half of the season, a lot of those games we lost was because of that Super Bowl layover you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. We got to get that. We didn't have that same hunger, and we weren't flying under the radar like teams were prepared for us. Teams were trying to take our heads off because they wanted to prove a point like, y'all ain't the champs, we're going to take y'all off, y'all the chumps, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, absolutely. Now, going into this next season, we're not going to have that defending Super Bowl champion mystique now. Now we're back to the, hungry team trying to prove that we can get back to the pinnacle, So I think we'll go back to having that edge again.
Yeah, yeah, and not just that though. A lot of things come with when you win the Super Bowl. A lot of players are they're traveling all around the world, all around the country and things like this. Guys on TV shows, interviews here, interviews there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that come with being a Super Bowl champ. And this was obviously our first time. So yeah. Well, we got to look forward to next year, but we got a young core, so I'm looking forward to our future, man. Carson Wentz.
How did the Patriots keep getting back? I hate the Patriots, man.
Yeah, Hey, listen, that's perfect. You want to talk about some of those other games?
Yeah, well, I think it'll be a perfect segue into the Chiefs Patriots AFC Championship game.
You just did it, my brother. You did it effortlessly.
I was the biggest Chiefs fan. You would think that I was a Kansas City fan for 30 years, man. When I was watching that game, and shout out to Andy Reid. He was our coach for over a decade. I loved the man. I feel so bad that championship still eludes him.
Right.
Because if anybody's more deserving, it's him. Considering the coaches that under his tutelage have gone on to be successful and win Super Bowls. And it's like, how are you going to have your students win Super Bowl and you don't have one to yourself, And I was like, now he's got one of the best. Who was one of the best running backs in the league, but we lost him. Was a Hunt? Wasn't his name Hunt?
Yeah, Hunt.
Yeah, so lost Hunt, and that was a big blow because I feel like if Hunt was playing, I believe that the Chiefs would be in the Super Bowl right now. But but again, we were talking about this before the show that. Once again, Andy Reid's shortcomings have come to light with his poor clock management, holding on to those 3 timeouts in overtime. Are you saving those overtimes? Are you saving those timeouts for next year?
He was definitely supposed to call. His defense was tired.
He
should have just called.
Tony Romo even saw it. Tony Romo, he should hire Tony Romo as one of his assistant coaches.
Romo definitely knows the game.
He was on point with those. Did you remember did you peep how Tony Romo was calling what the teams were going to do before they actually did it?
Oh, he does that all the game. I think Romo actually got an award for because he started last year. Romo knows the game. Not only that, he has that quarterback lens. So you know what I mean. He sees things.
Impressive, man.
Yeah,
he was calling stuff like okay, don't look for Gronkowski over the top, and he did, and he did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's enough. That's enough accolades from a former cryboy. I'm not going. Right. That's about as much as he gets from me.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't mind Romo. I think he does do a good job though. With his play calling.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, the Patriots were marching down the field easily. Call timeout. Get the guys together. Say, listen. You guys need to take a break. I'll call another timeout if you need me to. But listen, someone has to make a play. We are going to lose this game if they score a touchdown. If worst case scenario, hold them to a field goal. Make a play. Like get in their minds and let them know. Right. It seems like the only thing that the Chiefs defense were thinking about is how tired they are. It's like they were just looking just exhausted.
He should have called a timeout for that reason, and they were exhausted because of that first half. And I felt like. I'm not gonna. He made a mistake by not calling a timeout, but for me, for one, Belichick did a great job of just when they couldn't stop that running that first half, particularly that first quarter, that opening drive. That's what you saw later in the game, the effects of their defense being worn out. But I felt like Chiefs gave up a whole entire half. They were down 14-0 when the first half ended, and I felt like they gave up an entire half, and they had too much to overcome in one half, and they come back, and they actually did it. They actually did it and came back and actually, took the lead and came back or tied it and went to overtime. But you saw the ill effects, man, of their defense just simply being on the field too long, and that first half caught up to their defense in that overtime drive, and they were winded. But all more the reason why you're right in saying Andy Reid should have just called at least a timeout. It's no guarantee that's it's going to stop anything, but it would have definitely helped. So, yeah, he was supposed to call that. I think that was pretty obvious, too. Now that I think about it, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat now. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on, start talking about the Illuminati and conspiracy theories, because I firmly believe that there was a play at the end of near the end of regulation.
Break this down for me, boy. Go ahead.
The refs gave Tom Brady a mulligan. That pass, again, I've been watching football, and I've said this multiple times. I've been watching football since 1986, specifically
85.
Eagles football.
85, what you been watching?
Well, no, really 86. 85 was like Randall Cunningham's first year, but he was like, that was like really 86, because 86 was the year that the Giants played the Broncos in the Super Bowl and stuff like that.
But let me tell you why. We're friends and we go back a long way, Wood. But I know it was 85. You have, because I remember you having those little figures and stuff like that, the NFL figures.
The starting lineup.
Were that what they were called? The little.
I think they were called starting lineup.
Yeah, probably so. But I remember the Bears. Remember they had the shuffle and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was 85. I think that was the 84 season, but no. That was the 85 season, but the Super Bowl was in 86.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You might be right. So, all right. So, yeah, 85, 86, whatever. So, I watched football for a long time. And I know every time that they call offense or offsides, whether it's with offense or defense, that flag goes up in the beginning of the play. So, this play, Tom Brady drops back the pass. He throws it to Gronkowski, tips off of his fingers into a Chiefs defensive back hands, interception, game over. Chiefs fans are about to celebrate. The Chiefs are about to go to the Super Bowl. All of a sudden, a flag comes out of nowhere at the end of the run when the defensive player is running before he gets tackled. I see a flag jump up, and then I believe it was 2 fouls, one for like roughing the passer or something. But then they called one defensive offsides. And I say, usually when they call offsides, it's at the beginning of the play. And you'll see the flag right away, and it's like, okay, free play for the offense. It's about to go down. So I couldn't believe that. And here's what got me the most was whenever there is an offense or defensive offsides, they show it. They show the replay, and they'll point out the player and how he was offsides. They'll show the jump. They'll show him lined up in the neutral zone. Whatever. They did not show the defensive offsides. They just went into the next play, kept it moving, as if it never happened. So, if there's any Kansas City Chiefs fans out there who feel the same way that I feel, please speak out. I need to hear some of the comments. I need to read some of the comments. I need to, because I would certainly like to know your perspective, because I felt like you got robbed. And there was another play where it looked like Edelman or whatever, one of those. I feel like Edelman is like the only wide receiver the Patriots had. But one of those wide receivers caught a ball and it juggled and it hit the ground, but the ref still called it a complete pass. Because it was, I just really felt like the powers that be want to see Tom Brady just ride off into the sunset and just get another Super Bowl victory, because you can't have Tom Brady going out into the sunset with a Super Bowl loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got to go out with a win. He's Tom Brady. He's the NFL golden boy. You know what I'm saying? He's like what Michael Jordan was to the NBA. Unfortunately, Michael Jordan never had those blemishes that Tom Brady has, this cheating, the flake gate, the spy gate, and all that stuff. But yeah, that all right. Now I'm taking my tinfoil hat off now, so I just wanted to tell you that, and that was my perspective on it.
Yeah, I agree, man. That was in the fourth quarter, right, Wood?
That was at the end, end of the fourth quarter, and then the Chiefs, then the Patriots went on to score a touchdown and tie it up.
And you just showed me the play. I wasn't aware of that play. You know what? I fell asleep. I actually nodded off a few times, so I may have missed that play. But you just showed me.
The government made you fall asleep.
Yeah. You just showed that. You showed it to me. But on the replay, it didn't have it didn't show the
defensive offsides.
Yeah, right. Even on the video.
Yeah, this is very weird. Yeah, because we watched the mic'd up video, and the player, I think D Brown or something, whatever his name was, the guy who got called for the penalty, he was like, he was on the sideline. They said I was offsides. Was I? That was it.
Right.
Was it, man? I mean, and to go deeper, okay, I'm putting the tinfoil hat back on. All right, skull and crossbones, Illuminati. All right, I'm putting it back on for a sec. They what those brothers in Las Vegas, they know what they talking about when they come up with these spreads.
Ain't no
3
question.
points. Yeah, so how do they know? What's up, yo? What's up? I see you. What's up, fam? Hey, you need to get up on this. We need another member.
Zach Mack just walked into the studio.
Yeah, Zach Mack.
Man.
What up?
Shout out to Zach Mack.
Yo, so yeah, man, they know, they must know something we don't. They get how are they always on point with these spreads? If they're off, it's always a little bit by a few points. It's very rare that those spread guys, those gamblers in Vegas, they're always on point with these spreads, man. Yeah. I know they can't manipulate the game, but you can get the refs to call penalties and holds. There's holding every play. You know what I'm saying? It's just when it's excessive is when the refs call it. So I feel like the refs can be manipulated to cause certain trends in a game. That's all I'm saying. All right, I gotta keep taking my hat off, my tinfoil hat, and I keep putting it back on. I don't want to get too crazy. People gonna be like, man, what tripping?
Right. No. Yeah. It always seems to be something with those guys, though. So.
MK Ultra. Yeah. Let me stop. I'm bugging.
Hey, Wood, let's talk about that no call. Cause that.
How about that? You're talking about the Saints and the Rams. Yeah, it should be the Saints and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's what it should be.
I'm a little. Did you see what the Saints were saying? They were saying they want an asterisk next to the Super Bowl, saying they taking it too far now. You know what I mean?
I don't blame them. You know, Goodell could have intervened and had the game picked up right where it left off. There's rules. He wouldn't do it. I can see him. He ain't gonna do it, but he could. He could have.
The refs didn't call it.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's how that goes. You know what? I'm people might jump down my throat for what I'm about to say, but you know what? I thought that the play was actually close enough for them not to call it. Like, to be honest with you, I think he just kind of ran into the receiver a little. He got there a little early, but I mean,
he didn't even look back though, Chris. Yeah, and he drove his helmet right into him.
Yeah, he didn't, but he more so. He just didn't.
Something should have been called. He had like two penalties on that play.
Yeah, he just didn't. He just didn't play the ball, and I think the play was close enough for them. The refs are in a tough position right there because they don't want to call. They don't want to dictate the outcome of a game. If they would have called that play, the game would have just been over. And how disappointing would it have been for the whole season to end and you just see a penalty flag and then the season would have just been over. I mean, if it's a penalty, you kind of can't help it, but I think the play was close enough for them not to call it. And listen, y'all down here, kick y'all field goal and play defense. And I think that's kind of what the refs were kind of, I don't say what we're thinking, but, it was tough. It's tough. It's tough.
Yo, jump down Chris's throat because that was clearly a penalty that should have been called pass interference or personal foul. And you know what though, Chris? I'm happy that they didn't call it because the Saints beat us. So I was like, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
If the Eagles are there, that situation wouldn't happen to y'all. You should have let us beat you, and you wouldn't be feeling all bad right now.
yeah, they tripping. Hey, Mac, we're gonna let Mac weigh in on this situation real quick.
Yeah, man, get Mac on the
mic, yo. Hey, tell him how you feel about that, John, Mac.
It's a blatant call. You gotta make a call. They act like they was NBA refs. And not want to make a call like in a crucial situation.
Yeah.
But it's a call that's blatant.
Get him closer to the mic.
It's sort of different in football compared to basketball. It seemed like the refs didn't want to make a call. But you got to in this situation. It was blatant.
I agree.
It really was a blatant call. Anybody could have threw that flag that was a novice ref.
High school coach, high school
ref would have made that call. It was blatant. He was out of position because he didn't even look back.
Right.
And he
the play player even said he thought he was going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, because he played for it.
Yeah,
sometimes you got to play for it. Sometimes a pass interference is good. That if it wasn't, it would have been a touchdown because the way he was out of position.
Right.
If he made a stop and caught the ball, he could have ran in for the touchdown.
Right.
So he blatantly he was out of position.
He said something like the football gods bless me or something because he knew that should have been a call.
It was just the refs.
See, I disagree. I don't think that it was guaranteed that he scores right there. I really don't, and I really feel like the receiver. I don't think his intention was to really just. I think he just caught up to the defender
and didn't play the ball. From the beginning. You said he didn't play the ball.
Yeah,
that's what happened. He didn't play the ball. I'm just saying maybe he could have caught it and ran in, but he was on the sideline to catch the ball.
Yeah, no doubt.
More than anything,
no doubt.
He would have probably fell the way it looked like he was coming.
Mm-hmm.
He would have fell, but he would have caught the ball.
The Saints definitely have a legitimate gripe. The reality is, though, the refs didn't make the call, and they always miss calls.
They can't. Calls too much.
They can't.
That's when you got to go. If you go
possibly want an asterisk next to the Super Bowl, you know. You're getting.
Remember that? So let's get deep into this. So you remember that Tuck rule changed like a lot of things in the NFL. Do you think that play is going to change something for next season? Like, do you think they're going to readjust the way they look at replay? I could see because I believe Sean Payton is even on the committee to discuss like changes to make.
It may possibly add to something to do with replay, but I don't think it'll change much. They may add some form of replay within the final 2 minutes of the game or something like that. But I don't think
being able to replay penalties or something, because I think you can't do that now. Like you can't use the replay to check to see if something was a penalty or not.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do that.
Yeah. I don't think so, but maybe. Go ahead, man.
That's difficult because if it wasn't a penalty, they can't weigh on it. You know how they go to New York and go to the headboard or whatever? Then they can weigh on it, but it wasn't a flag thrown. You know, so you can't really throw.
It'll be like
challenge it though. You can challenge like challenging
something that wasn't called. You can't challenge anything that wasn't called.
That's what he's asking.
So now the refs from them can step in and say that was a blatant call. Y'all missed it, refs. That's why we here in the booth to catch what y'all missed. You know?
That's what I'm saying for next season. You think they can start doing something like that?
Yes, I think they can.
Start challenging penalties.
Not challenging penalties. The refs from the booth can say that was a blatant call. Y'all missed the flag. That was a flag. You know, but
then you got to also factor in
it can get out of hand. It can get out of hand at the same time. But that was a blatant call.
Yeah.
That pass interference was on purpose. It seemed like almost like he didn't get his head around because he was beat.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? Like now they can actually what's that? New York, wherever they be at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the main headquarters for the refs. Like
we need somebody overseeing them because they don't see everything. They could be out of position. They be scared to make a call. You know what I mean?
That'll be tough, though. It'll be interesting to see what happens. That'll be tough, though.
You also got to factor in you can't have all these replays and stoppage and play because then that's going to make the game longer. It could cause drop in viewership. People are not going to want to watch these games again especially those Monday night games that already go to about midnight. You know what I'm saying? You start having all these replays and
because it started at 8:30.
Not just that. What's the point of having a ref? So if you're gonna have somebody look over them, like you know what I mean? So they're there for a reason.
Yeah, there's like a human element. You like the human element. You don't want to take away that.
I think the NFL refs are the best refs in sports, and I think they do a great job. And for the most part, they don't. Unfortunately, sometimes they miss calls, and that was just a bad spot. I honestly think they just didn't want to dictate. Yeah, because if they make that call, the game's over. The whole NFL season. But they were still down there in position. Kick your field goal. It's no guarantee that y'all would have did anything anyway, to be honest with you. Kick your field goal and play D.
But it's a blatant call to me. Like, you got to call that.
Yeah, I got you.
It's different from basketball to football.
Yeah, I got you.
I just think they need more refs in football. That field is too big, and there's not enough refs out there.
Right.
You know what I like to see, though? I would like to see
refs.
I would like to see pass interference not be such a huge penalty. Like what? You know how they have the pass interference to the spot of the foul, whatever, so you could throw like a 60-yard bomb, and if it's pass interference, it's kind of like a 60-yard play. I don't know if I'd like that. Maybe they change. Maybe they readjust it to be just a 10-yard automatic first down or something.
Yeah, to help the defense.
Yeah.
I think, I somewhat agree with that. I think they should be able to use their own discretion, and if it looks like the offensive player is kind of almost like an NBA player when he shoots the three and he kicks his feet out.
Like different levels of passing, like different levels.
Yeah, like if you see that the offensive player kind of initiated or was trying to get a cheap, you know what I mean? Use discretion, and but again, that's tough too. So,
like the joint that happened against the Saints and the Rams, that was he hit him and all that. That's a 15-yard automatic first down. But then, like, let's say one where it's just like the hands are kind of being tangled up with each other, and then they both go down. Maybe they're like, all right, that's 5 yards automatic first down. So, you know what I mean? When it's real hard to tell. If it's blatant, penalize for 15, automatic first. If it's real close and they call the flag, and it's like, it looks like they're both going for the ball, and it looked like, because I hate those pass interference calls where the defensive player is like, damn, what are you supposed to do? How are you going to defend a player? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel bad.
Exactly, Wood. I think the defense
maybe get like a 5-yard first down.
No, I think the defense need to be able to have that. It just be 15 yards.
No, wait.
Pass interference, 15 yards. You
15
need
regardless.
For the defense. Sometimes they beat the way they have it. You can't touch the player. He can do a whole lot out the break. You can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you beat, you have to do pass interference strategically. You know what I mean? Like, it should be something to help the defense because they have to have an out. And it is blatant pass interference, holding. Sometimes when you beat, they hold. You know what I mean? Like, I think to help the defense, pass interference, 15 yards.
They also have to look at that roughing the passer call a little bit, but they have to they got to tighten that one up because it seemed like if you just touch Brady the wrong way, if you just put your hand on him, he's gonna get that 15-yard penalty call.
It always gets crazy when he plays. They call it. Carson Wentz was getting beat up this year, and they barely called stuff against him. Well, Brady, look at Brady.
And there was one against the Chiefs. He got a free. Mahomes? He got a 15-yard first down because I think one of the players just like went across his shoulder, and they called that as a personal foul. Like, come on, man.
I need the quarterback to be protected because once the quarterback goes down, that team is over. You know, I need them to be protected. I don't want you driving the quarterback down.
I mean, if he gets knocked down hard, but Brady was barely touched on that one
Which
play.
Which one? He went low?
There was one right there during the AFC Championship game.
Which one?
Where it was a questionable personal foul.
Was it
where
low?
The Chiefs, huh?
Did he go low?
I don't think he went low. I think his arm went across his shoulder.
Did he hit
his arm went across his shoulder and his hand hit his helmet?
Yep. And Mahomes didn't get that one, right?
No, he didn't get nothing like that.
But it was a questionable
scrambling
one.
Quarterbacks never get the same love that pocket quarterbacks get. You'll never get that personal foul. Remember how Michael Vick used to get beat up? Remember he even said something about it in post game? How he was like, I get beat, I get knocked to the ground. I'll never get those calls.
He put himself in that position.
Yeah, that one year, Vic, when we ain't had no offensive line, he got killed that year.
Cam Newton gets beat up. But I think you got to protect the quarterback because once the quarterback goes out, that team is done.
Zach needs to pull up a chair right next to you, Chris, because so he can get closer to the mic. Because we got a special guest, Captain Zach, in full effect. He needs to be in the rest of this episode.
Pull it over.
You make it so he's not going in and out. So the people need to hear Zach. You know what I'm saying? We're coming down to the last few episodes of this season. We got a special guest appearance.
You know, because then you can pick CeeLo's brain. You know what I mean?
Yo, Pippen and Jordan.
Yeah, you got to go
at. I'm Jordan though.
When you got a knowledgeable sports fan, when you got a knowledgeable sports fan that's knowledgeable on all sports.
I'll take Pippen. I just got to get that fro cut off. He killing me with that that in between fro, bro. That in between fro.
You Jordan, bro.
Yeah.
You talking about Pippen?
You Jordan.
Yeah.
What do you like about who do you like in this upcoming Super Bowl?
I haven't even gave it a thought.
Yeah, and you gonna watch it?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say I ain't watching that game. I don't care about the Patriots. I'm not watching that Super Bowl.
It's the same one as Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah, but
is that now different?
Well,
it's the same thing. Like how many? Remember we talked about how many times Patriots been there since 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Gee whiz.
Hey, Wood, you want to do another one before the bowl or after the bowl? Cause I don't know. I don't know if I feel like talking about the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, after.
I love just hearing y'all.
I was excited. I was looking forward to Chiefs Rams. That would have been really exciting to see, and I would have been rooting for Andy Reid. Now I'm going to be the biggest Rams fan you ever seen. So it's all about the Los Angeles. I was about to call them the St. Louis Rams. It's all about the Los Angeles Rams, baby. I want to see. I want to see the Patriots get destroyed.
They're gonna kill me with the only thing I'm gonna be. They're going to McVay. They're going to the youngest. They're going to make him out to be a genius.
Oh yeah.
They're going to kill me.
They're going to talk about that so much. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's already annoying. That's the only thing I have. It's going to almost drive me crazy. But do you want to? Let's say that for another show, man. Let's. Well, at least
really talk about who. If we're going to do another show after the Super Bowl, who do you see winning the game? Let's at least talk about.
I think we could do one more before the bowl. To be honest with you, because we got a whole 2 weeks.
Patriots.
We got a whole 2.
Patriots. So Zach got the Patriots. I got the Rams. Who do you think is going to win?
That's like default. Patriots off of default. They ain't win it last year. They got to get it this year.
Yeah.
Have they ever went back to back?
Yeah, they
not won.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I'm looking it up.
I don't think so.
I don't think they did go back to back.
Yeah, they went back to back 2004.
Yeah, they went back to back.
But did they win back to back?
They won back to back one time. He's saying,
but they don't lose back to back.
He's saying, did they ever go twice and lose back to back?
Never.
I'm not sure.
Never. They like every other year. They like every other year.
Yeah.
They a machine.
They killing me. But
it come down to coaching more than anything.
Belichick just does the most pragmatic approach.
So they beat the Panthers and then they beat us. 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
That was the back-to-back. But they also...
That should have been us back-to-back, to be honest with you. Because that year the Panthers went is the year that they beat us in the link. And we were favored to win that game. So we should have been playing the Patriots in 2004. And then playing the Patriots, and then we obviously we played them again the next year after that.
Damn, so we should have been there 4 times in the last, since 2004? 2018, 19?
2, 3, 4.
Because that was the last year we went to the championship three straight times and lost. Like, so yeah, we lost to the Rams back in 2002. They went on to play the Patriots, lost to the Patriots. Then we lost another NFC championship game. Then we lost our last NFC championship in Veterans Stadium to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember when Donovan McNabb threw that interception to Rondé Barber?
Yep.
He ran it all the way back. So then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went on to lose to the Oakland Raiders, and then the following year we lost to our first year in Lincoln Financial Field. We were favored against the Panthers, and the Panthers beat us. Like, we were just a totally different team that night. Like we were. That was. Like,
I don't like the late games. 4 in the 8 o'clock games? No.
And then finally we got over the hump when we had T.O. and we beat the Falcons in the NFC Championship to go on to Super Bowl 39. So,
wow.
But yeah.
Hey, fellas, hey, Wood.
Yeah.
How you feel about let's talk some Nick Foles right now.
Well, I'm a Nick Foles fan. I'm hoping that somehow they find a way to keep Nick Foles and trade Carson Wentz. I know that's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Wentz is the future. Wentz is the future. I get all that, but I just feel like Nick Foles is a better fit for this offense. Carson Wentz, I think he would be more valuable he'd be trade bait. Let's get some good defenders in here for Carson Wentz.
Hey,
Carson Wentz can kick rocks.
Before you continue, did you hear Nick Foles post game?
Yeah, he was just talking he was saying all the right things, like the politically correct stuff, like they like this time here and you whatever, let the chips fall where they may kind of stuff.
Did you take that as him staying or leaving?
Yeah, he's leaving.
All right.
He's leaving.
So speak on that. Like, where do you see him, or maybe what he's a starter in the league to you?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's earned that. But it all depends on the fit, on the offensive scheme. Like, you can't just because he left us. He's very, very successful with us, a Pro Bowl quarterback. And then when he went on to another team, he sucked. I think he went to the Rams after us, and he performed poorly. It all depends on your fit. Like Wentz. Wentz is a perfect example. He's an amazing quarterback. So you don't really need to do anything because he can adapt and he's awesome and blah blah blah. But you got Nick Foles coming in after he gets hurt, and we're successful.
Can I touch on that, Wood?
What's up?
I think now Foles is in a position now to know where he needs to go.
You think so?
I think he's looking at it now to be more beneficial for him than before. Going to the Rams with Fisher, that's not a good coach for him. I'm a Bronco fan, all right? I think Kubiak would be a perfect fit. I think Jacksonville could be a perfect fit.
That's one thing, he ain't trying to be a backup quarterback in Philly next year, that's for sure.
That's the only two teams. Maybe the Cardinal, he could go to Arizona.
He could. His best bet is to go to Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville with their defense, it'll be more like the Eagles a little bit. They got young talent over there.
Yeah, I like that, Zach. I don't want to see him in the NFC East. That's all.
Oh well, I say long as it ain't New York Giants, hell no, don't send them there. Jacksonville, perfect, or Denver Broncos, perfect fit. I think they can cater to what he is, knowing his skill set.
Yeah.
Jacksonville quarterback. What the hell is that bum name?
Blake Bortles.
Bortles. Foles went through adversity now. That I think he's coming into knowing what he brings to a team, just like he brought to the Eagles.
I agree.
I think
Wentz. He ready to get that money now.
Wentz needs I don't even think he wants the money. He just want to be happy and then somewhere where he can be successful and to show his talent like he did over here. You know what I mean? I think he's an old school quarterback like Jim Kelly. Them dudes that's not athletic. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jim Kelly. Like Phil Simms. Them dudes wasn't super quarterbacks. They just knew where to go with the ball because they wasn't athletic to run around. They knew where some of the blitzes was coming, like Troy Aikman. They quarterbacks. They can't run around, so they know where to go with the ball all the time. Wentz relies on athleticism sometimes, so he doesn't have his 1, 2, 3 reads. He don't know the blitz coming. You know, it's a different thing with Wentz that he can learn those skills that Foles showed us what you need to be. You can't just go to Ertz. You got to be able to go to the wide receivers. Foles goes to the wide receivers, the backs, the tight ends. He goes to everybody because the play might be you need to go to this read. You know?
Nah, Carson can do all that.
He can do it. He can do that. He got to get better at it.
Nah,
he got to get better at his decision making that he did the year before he got hurt. He was there. You know? He had a setback now after getting hurt and then the pressure of coming behind Foles, taking us to the Super Bowl. He was pressing this year.
I really think Carson came back early, and the fact that we didn't have a running game, I think that just put him in a bad spot. Foles actually played when our running backs kind of started playing well, so I think that helped him out. But
he played terrible early without the running backs, without everybody there.
Hey, Wood, you want to wrap this joint up?
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, it was a good episode. Yeah, we had a nice cameo, surprise, special guest.
Shout out to Zach Mack.
Man, I appreciate y'all letting me come on.
Appreciate the insight.
I love just listening to y'all. You know, y'all opinions.
Appreciate it, bro.
Too bad we couldn't have
we'll link up, do another episode before the Super Bowl. Hopefully we'll be 4 strong.
No doubt.
Get Mike and Rome back up in the spot.
Shout out to Mike, shout out to Rome. Hey, Wood, you want to wrap this puppy up, man? Wrap it up for me, man. My voice a little sore, man. Wrap this thing up, man. Put a bow on it, man.
All right, man. Thanks for listening, brothers. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Give us the Russell Simmons, John. Come on, give us the Broad Street 4
I forgot how they go, man. I forgot how they go. I'm gonna mess it up. I don't know what you say. I forgot what you say.
Hey, we signing off Broad Street 4 for 4. Remember, don't raise your voice.
Improve your argument. That's right. Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument.
We signing off. Peace.
One love.